Good morning. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Get a muffler. Coffee? Or what about ice cream? I think yes. Let's do it. So we thought we'd start Coffee with Todd a little bit different today because it's St. Patrick's Day, and as a tradition here in Newport, Vermont, Pick and Shovel, Tim and Doug's Ice Cream, always opens basically St. Patrick's Day weekend. So we're here to get some St. Patrick's Day ice cream.
Yeah.
They have a what's it called?
St. Patrick's Day shake.
We're gonna.
Is it going on until, I think, tomorrow? I don't know.
Like
After
Wednesday.
today. Is it till Sunday?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm not
Anyway,
sure.
we don't know. Anyway, we're gonna get ourselves, don't worry, we're still gonna have coffee.
Yes.
But we're giving ourselves a St. Patrick's Day shake to start off Coffee with Todd this morning here at Tim and Doug's at Pick and Shovel in Newport. Let's do it. You're not gonna get a shake though, right?
No.
She's gonna get a sorbet. She's gonna get a sorbet.
Baby vanilla.
That's when I get the.
Todd, you must be this tall to have ice cream.
That means you can't have ice cream.
And I have heels on.
You can have sorbet though.
Yep.
All right, we got our stuff. Danielle got a lemon sorbet, and I got a. This is that.
St. Patty's Day shake.
Yeah. Mmm.
And then we smell yummy, delicious confectionery coming from the ice cream stand. Well, stand. Pick and Shovel.
Pick and Shovel.
We're
Look at
walking
that.
because we're trying to stay warm.
It's 40 degrees outside.
And we would come and get ice cream, Todd.
We had to come get ice cream, but we're not the only ones. Look at everybody behind us. Well, there we go. So, grab yourself a St. Patrick's Day milkshake or a lemon sorbet from Tim and Doug's, or grab yourself a cup of coffee. Coffee with Todd starts right now.
Yum.
Go. Good morning, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Woo woo. Well, that was a fun way to start the show off this morning. Obviously, that wasn't live because they're not open yet. Maybe I think they open at 11. Might be 10. I think it's 11. Yeah. Anyway, thought that would be a fun way to start off the day. Good morning, Marie. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Yeah, it was mint, but it was not green,
Yeah.
right? I thought that was
mint ice cream and the cookie, right?
yeah. It is mint. It was like vanilla. It was like vanilla ice cream with mint Oreo cookies and like some other kind of like green mint that they put in it. So it was like it wasn't overwhelmingly minty, but it just a hint of mint.
Was it good?
It was good. And Danielle got the lemon sorbet
That was good.
because she can't have the dairy part. And yeah, the lemon sorbet was actually really good.
It was refreshing.
Refreshing. It was refreshing on a
At a 40 degree.
40 degree on the edge of rainy
Yeah.
evening, afternoon. It was raining when we got up this morning. It seems like it maybe has stopped raining now.
No. It's going right now.
Is it still raining? Good morning, Al. Well, happy St. Patrick's Day, everybody. I figured what we would do for St. Patrick's Day is I've got a couple Irish songs for you. Some St. Patty's type songs. And of course, we went to Tim and Doug's at Pick and Shovel to start the show off and get ourselves a mint shake. And I'm also going to be drawing a cartoon with you guys today. We've talked about it for a while, how to kind of show you the process of how my cartoons are made. So we're going to do that today. So it's a fun day filled with ice cream, coffee. I should have put, let's do that order over again. Filled with coffee, ice cream, cartoons, and music. I mean, I don't know what you think, but that sounds
Todd, the only thing
like a perfect day.
is corned beef.
Corned beef, that's right.
It's corned beef and cabbage.
Well, that takes about 5 hours in the crock pot, so it'd be a really long show. Aaron says his favorite flavor is orange dreamsicle, unless it's the classic Ben and Jerry's Cherry Garcia. Yeah, that's good stuff. Oh, and I forgot the most important ingredient of the show this morning. Me. There you go. All right, let's have some coffee. Boy, do I need coffee. I had to wait that whole beginning. Oh, that's better. I know you guys can't see her, but Danielle's dressed in green this morning. She told me, and I want to know what you guys think here. I want to know if this is true, because I don't think this is true. She said she's wearing so much green that I couldn't pinch her.
Yep.
But she said it didn't matter if she was wearing green at all because she has green eyes.
Yep.
I don't think that counts.
Yeah, it does.
I do not think that counts.
Yep.
No.
I'm just lucky.
I don't think you have to be wearing green, not partially green.
I wear my eyes every day.
Well, you wear your eyes. You don't wear them. They are you.
I know. I'm just.
I want to know what you guys
joking.
think. Is she pinch immune on St. Patrick's Day, even if she was wearing red because her eyes are green? It doesn't. I don't feel like that's a real thing.
Oh, I beg to differ.
Okay.
I get your point.
All right, this is adjusted from when I played live. The strap's a little low this morning. That's all right. We'll figure it out.
Do you want me to tighten it?
All right. Hold the guitar, please. We just need to do a little adjustment. This is not going to be easy.
Is that okay?
Yeah, do you got it?
Yeah. I'm holding it by the bottom here.
Okay.
Got it?
Yep. Oh, that's better.
Well, look at that guitar tech you just had help you out.
Guitar tech.
Fancy.
Now, yes.
Better?
Close enough. Dad says there's only one way to find out.
Oh, what?
Pinch her.
Pinch me, and if it hurts, then it...
And Aaron says, I'm guessing that you must not be married. Otherwise, it wouldn't matter because she would be right. Isn't Is that true?
What, because I'm supposed to always be right?
I guess. So this guitar, it was tuned earlier, but it's out already. This is why. So I had this in the case. Acoustic guitars need about an average of 45 to 55% humidity and an average temperature inside of the wood. Not too much, not too little. You don't want it to dry out and crack. You don't want it to swell. Well, that means I put it in a case with a little sponge that absorbs distilled water, and I monitor the case. And I was bad, and I didn't monitor the case of this. And the humidity of this guitar was 72% this morning. So I actually feel it like a little bit wet. The good news is it's like 30% humidity inside the house, so it's gonna come to life as the show goes on this morning. Yeah, humidifier. Yes. That's better. Marie says that you're just lucky to have green eyes, so she thinks that counts. Okay.
All right.
All right.
No, I was just joking. I have green on though, because I know better.
She does. She has on some green pants, and she has a Pink Floyd shirt on that has green inside it.
And green earrings. It's not easy being green, Todd.
It's not easy being green. Yeah, I always wondered about putting a humidifier in a piano. Same idea.
Todd, you have the green of rain.
Yeah. I see trees of green, green roses too. I see them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of green, clouds of green, bright blessed days, dark sacred nights, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow are so pretty in the sky, and also on the faces of leprechauns passing by. And I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? Well, they're really saying, I love you. And I hear babies cry, and I watch them grow. Well, they'll learn much more than I will ever know. And I think to myself, That was the St. Patrick's Day version of that song.
You forgot green eggs and ham?
Green eggs and ham. Oh my gosh. Charles Pratt of Montgomery, Vermont. That name sounds familiar. Oh wow, it's raining out now.
That's why.
Good morning, Luz. 7:16 a.m.
Wow. Good morning, Luz.
Hey, this might be an ignorant question, but I don't know the answer to this. Do you celebrate St. Patrick's Day in Mexico? I'm just wondering. It's obviously not an American holiday. It might be American the way we celebrate it by wearing green and drinking green flavored beer and stuff. But
yeah, we forgot about green flavored coffee. Or green coffee. Not necessarily flavored.
Moldy coffee?
Yeah, I don't think that would be very good. Food coloring. Green food coloring.
Yeah. I'm gonna do another one. I'm gonna do one of my songs, and then we'll do an Irish song. Where'd my pick go? I wasn't using a pick on that last song. Charlie was the house pianist at the Kilgore General in Montgomery. Oh, I guess I don't know. Of course, Aaron grew up in Montgomery. I grew up in Newport, so I only got out to Montgomery a handful of times back in the Dizzy. I played at the Snowshoe Lounge once when I was getting my folk music career revived. I played with my buddy Nathan Michaud at the Snowshoe Lounge and Pub for like 3 people who were all hammered. We agreed to do it for $100 for 3 hours. And I walked up to the bartender at the end of the night and I said, all right, I'm ready to get paid. And he handed me a $100 bill. And before I grabbed it, I said, well, I'm going to split that with my buddy. Can you split that? And he said, sure. And he ripped it in half. And I was like, and then he goes, just kidding. And he handed me 2 50s. And I'm like, what the hell just happened?
What?
Like it was a real $100 bill.
You tape it back together?
I don't know. He gave me 2 50s, but that was the weirdest thing I ever saw in my life. Well, I get up on Monday and I drag myself to work. I like to punch more than the clock. My manager's a jerk. But I put the blinders on 'cause I've got bills to pay. And if I don't pay them, man, they'll take my car away. My father always tells me I should get a better job. He says I work too damn hard for what little that I've got. But it's hard to draft your resume while you're lacing up your boots. So I keep pressing on, 'cause that's what people do. And it ain't so hard. It ain't so hard. If I'm coming home to you. My cousin, he quit drinking. Man, he walks 12 steps a day. He's drinking coffee in church basements to keep the monkey away. Says it keeps him humble and he's thankful for what he's got. But since it's legal now here in Vermont, he ain't never quitting pot. And it ain't so hard. It ain't so hard. If I'm coming home to you. No, it ain't so hard. It ain't so hard. If I'm coming home to you. Now I'm the kind of man that's hard to comfort. And I don't mean to waste your time. But when I drag myself home, feeling useless brother, he's divorced now. His ex-wife has moved on. With all the joint bank accounts and his ex a best man Ron. He has a little apartment, it's next to the town garage. He spends his nights on Tinder, but he swears that it's Match.com, and it ain't so hard. It ain't so hard. So I'm coming home to you. No, it ain't so hard. It ain't so hard. So I'm coming home to you. Thank you. There's some green spots on the bread I made with my French toast with, so I'm all set for St. Patty's Day. I actually did a cartoon like that last year. It was a kid saying, "Mom, my toast is moldy," and she said, "That's fine, dear. It's St. Patrick's Day." Good morning, Baba.
Good morning, Baba.
Oh, thanks, man. It's a new-ish song. I haven't released it yet. I've been performing it for a little while now, but yeah, it's called "It Ain't So Hard." I've recorded the basic tracks of it. We just need to finish it up. I need to put an album out soon. Do you guys think I should put an album out? If I put an album out, would you guys buy it, or would you at the very least stream it on the internets?
On the internets?
On the internets. I know this looks a little weird. I'm doubling up on the capos this morning. Look at this.
Whoa.
Look at the hardware on this guitar I got going on. Aaron says he'd buy it. Perfect.
Right.
Yeah, I'm really proud of that song. When I wrote that, I was like, oh man, this is a good song. I start a lot of my shows with that song. That's especially if it's an audience that's never heard of me before. Like, if I'm opening up for another artist when they bring me out on stage, that's how I introduce myself to the world. With that song. He would buy the vinyl. Yeah, I really want to do vinyl when I do a new record. It's expensive, man. All right, let's do... All right, so this isn't a traditional Irish song because Steve Earle wrote it, and he was born in Texas. But... I just like it. It's an Irish song. Well, I took a stroll on the old long walk on the day I met a little girl and we stopped to talk on the far side day. And I asked your friend, what's a fella do? 'Cause her hair is black, her eyes are blue. And I knew right then I'd be taking a whirl around the Salt Hill prom with the Galloway girl. Halfway there when the rain came down on the day she asked me up to her flat downtown on the fine soft day. And I asked your friend, what's a Salt Hill prom with a Galloway girl. We're at the Salt Hill prom with a Galloway girl. Thank you. I love Steve Earle. My ear's peeking out. My hat, she snuck up on me head. Traditional Irish song, Mysterious Ways. Is that by you too? I love that old classic Irish album, The Joshua Tree. That's a great album. I can't do an Irish accent. Good morning, Kenneth. How's you doing? It is you too, yeah.
It is?
Yeah, I found a few places that can do vinyl. I think I'm gonna do it. Here's the question I've been kicking around. Like, I put the new album out, right? I'm thinking about not putting it out on Spotify. Right off. Like, releasing it on CD, vinyl, and, like, maybe digital download. Yeah, for, like, maybe a good 6 months or so. And then put it on Spotify.
There you go.
I'm just curious. I feel like it would be a little, like, more of a special thing. And, like, I'm thinking about putting a few songs on it that won't end up on Spotify. So, like, there's this little bit of exclusivity to it. All right, let's do some cartoons, shall we? I've got another traditional Irish. I actually have a traditional Irish song for you come up in just a bit. But what I thought would be fun today to do was I'll show you my cartoons, and then I'll show you how I make my cartoons. I've been saying I was going to do that for a while, and I think now is the time. I think it's the right time for it. St. Patrick's Day. A-I-A. All right, so let's switch the little coffee symbol up here to Midlife Thesis. If you want to follow me on the web, you can follow me at themidlifethesis.net. There it is. I'm on Facebook and Instagram at Midlife Thesis Cartoons. Even posting some stuff on Reddit now. We're just hitting it up everywhere, these Midlife Thesis cartoons. They also, on Fridays and Mondays, go in the Newport Daily Express. Yes, and if your local newspaper would like a Midlife Thesis cartoon, well, have them get a hold of me.
Yes.
I've been trying to get into other newspapers. It ain't easy. On Fridays, a lot of times, they put the cartoon on the back page in color. And look at that. Do we have a St. Patrick's Day cartoon? Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do. I like this one. All right, did you have enough time to read it?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the cartoons also come out not just on Fridays, they come out on Mondays as well. And you may be thinking to yourself, but Todd, Monday is tomorrow. Well, because you watch Coffee with Todd, Monday comes a day early for you. Here's tomorrow's cartoon today. It's a cartoon of the future, and it's a leftover St. Patrick's Day cartoon. Danielle mentioned corned beef earlier in the show. Gross.
No way.
I mean, just two simple ingredients.
Yuck.
I like how he's using creamed corn.
I like how he looks like he's gonna enjoy that too.
Oh, he's proud of himself.
Look at him, I know.
He's
like,
proud of
he's
himself.
Amused, like,
And she's like, "What the hell, Sean?"
he's like, I'm not eating that. You've obviously never had real corned beef.
All right, so let's do this. I think this would be fun. I did this a while ago, when I first started drawing cartoons, but I'm gonna do it again. So this right behind me here is a drawing desk, right? That's why it's a little angled. You don't see it all. And a lot of times I'll sketch on that desk. Sometimes I'll ink it in real life, but most of the time I'm inking on my iPad, and I'm just gonna kind of pull it out of the... Can you just pull that out for me? If you grab the top left corner. No, it's good.
Oh, is that okay?
Just pull it from the top. No. Like, yeah, right there. Just pull it right out. There you go. This is where I do most of my cartoons, on this little guy right here. You can see where my pen tends to land in the middle with this little Apple pencil. But a lot of times what I do is I sketch it in person first. So we're going to do this cartoon right here today. It's not a St. Patrick's Day cartoon. I figured this one was a little more involved, so this would be fun. So if you remember this from a couple of weeks ago, this is my Rob Erie cartoon. So I'm telling you, Rob, they're a great bunch of people. You're going to love working with them. Attention, everyone. This is Rob Erie. Oh, no. Okay. So that's pretty funny. This is the original sketch I did of that cartoon. Right there. And I did it on the back of my pay stub. I better not show you guys all the information, but that's my pay stub. That's hilarious. Anyway, so there you go. That's the original sketch. Now, how does this sketch right here, how does this become this? Why, of course it's magic. Of course. I'm going to show you. So come along with me. We're going to speed it up a little bit, but I'll take you through the process of how that becomes what you just saw. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Let's do it. All right, so the first thing we do is we get a blank slate and we start drawing out panels. In this case, we're going to make a line, maybe I don't know, a third or so up to the top of the screen. So we just draw the line across, we straighten it out a little bit, we draw this, boom. Now we got 3 panels. Oh, no, wait. Now we got 3 panels. And then we import in our picture of the sketch that I showed you before. The one thing you don't see here is I actually have a graph that I'm working with. The computer doesn't capture the graph, but those lines are drawn on a graph. So anyway, I put the picture in and then I kind of bring the opacity down so you can just barely see the lines, and then I start drawing the ink over it. So I start with the eyes and then the nose, and we're throwing in this guy's moustache right now. His mustachio. I take the longest sometimes on the eyes because I don't want to use the corrective stuff that makes it a perfect circle, because then it kind of just takes some of the life out of it. So, whoops, I don't know what I did there. Oh, I went to fill in the hair with black and I hadn't had the line closed off, so I just filled in the whole canvas. But anyway, you can see we're slowly. I mean, this is sped up. This whole cartoon took me 3 hours to do, and we're gonna do it in about 15 minutes. So, you know, the eyebrows don't just appear. I'm actually drawing them, but that's what I'm doing right now. Is I'm just kind of drawing in the collar and the tie, and then I'll come down and you'll see the line. The way this makes it looks like they just appear, but I'm kind of drawing it all by hand. I'm doing it all on an iPad. There's his arm, his little sleeves. Oh, there's his arm. You can see I moved it. I drew it originally. I didn't like where it was, so I moved it. Threw in his belly here, and now I'm erasing some of the line that overlap the other. There's his pants, his hands. Boom. Oh, you got to do the other hand. Now, if you see how his hand goes over the line of his shirt, I'm just going in right now, and I'm erasing that. And making his legs a little bit longer. All right, now another eye. And you can see I did that a few times before I got it right. And then I just kind of drew the other eye in, drew the face, the little mouth, ear. Oh, eyeballs. Gotta have eyeballs. Characters can't see if they ain't got eyeballs. Putting in his hair, his Art Garfunkel hair. Kind of looks like Garfunkel a little bit, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Or give him a collar, give him a tie. They're working in a bank, so they got to wear a tie. Even though I don't know. I don't think my banker wears a tie.
I was to say, is that even standard anymore?
I don't even know. I don't even know what's standard anymore. Hands, as you can see, I'm drawing the hands over the lines of his pants, right? And then I'm erasing the pants underneath. Okay, now this is the text. See those red lines? Those are letter guides. Now it looks like the text just appeared. I actually typed it in. I made a font of my own handwriting. So that's my handwriting where I handwrit each of the letters, and then I can just type them in. It speeds it up, because if I was to hand letter it on that graph that I showed you before, if I was to do that, it would probably take me another 40 minutes just to do that. So anyway, you can see that they magically just appeared in the other frame. Yeah, I didn't redraw them. I copied and pasted them. But the reason I put the words in first is I wanted to kind of get an idea of what I had for space to work with within this panel. So now I've copied and pasted them. See, I'm moving his eyes a little bit. Oop, it's cross-eyed. I'm just getting the eyes so they're looking at the right thing. There. Okay, there's the guide again. So that's the original drawing that I did. And I'm using that as a guide to just go in and make the counter of the bank. Now I'm making the safe. You can see I'm kind of drawing in a quick line, and then I'm using a ruler to straighten it out. And I made that a little bit big, so I'm just going to shrink that box down so it's a little more the same size as what I had before. Or maybe I don't shrink it down. Yeah, I guess I don't. You know what I did? I centered it. So in my original drawing, it wasn't centered. Now it's completely centered with the canvas. Oh no, there it is. Oh, see, I just lied to you. I just made it bigger and I centered it up. For the bank sign, I'm actually making the sign underneath. This is one thing that you can do with digital drawing. See, I moved that, and then you see I put the text in there, and boom, we're gonna draw the little lock. That's a lock. The dial, the combination thingamajigger. There we go. See? All right. So now we're starting to look like a bank. We're going to draw in the bank tiles. This is where art class comes in. When you did art class in like junior high, they taught you about perspective and vanishing points. If you don't remember it, you can't be a cartoonist. See? There we go. We've got our tiles in there. You'll notice some cartoonists are a lot more accurate with perspective than others. I tend to be a little OCD about perspective. So anyway, now we're drawing in our heist characters. Is that what they're called? Heist? No, they're called hostages. The hostages. Yes. So the first guy is drawn in there, and you can kind of see my other characters underneath in the original sketch. There we go. We're going to draw his mouth in. We're going to give him a little neck. We're going to make that t-shirt up there. We're going to give him his stick 'em up arms, his belly. He had a few too many donuts this morning, I guess. There's his hands, his arms, his eyes. He looks pretty surprised. His legs, his shoe. There's one shoe. There's two shoe. There's red shoe. There's blue shoe. All right, so there's that dude, pretty much. Now we're going to move him out of the way a little bit. We're going to go in, and we're going to draw one of the bank tellers in the background. That's one of the great things about doing digital stuff is you can kind of move stuff out of the way if you want. And if you decide you want to put them back, you can. Or if you want a little bit more spacing, you'll see me move these people. Even after they're drawn, you'll see me move them into different directions. You notice I have the caption down there. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with the caption, so I just left it there. When we start drawing the next teller, we'll probably get rid of that caption altogether. All of these are in layers, so think of a deck of cards and think of like your bottom card to your top card. The bottom card is the white canvas. The card on top of the bottom card is the paper sketch, my original sketch that we imported and are tracing over, and then each time we just keep laying cards over the top of it. So I'm drawing this person on a card that sits above the white canvas and above the sketch, and I'm drawing her in. And see, I'm having a little bit of problem with her hands. There we go. I got her hands in there. And what I'll do sometimes is I'll put another layer or like another card on top of her before I draw her hair in, so I can kind of just go in and erase underneath her without ruining the original lines. That's a little trick that you can do. You can do all this, of course, with a paper and pen, but it takes a lot longer because if you screw up, you got to start over. Here, see, I just said, I don't like where her eyebrow is, and I moved it. Boom. And I brought the bank back. That was another layer. See, that was on another layer, so I could just get rid of it if I wanted to. And now I bring that layer back, and I take it away. I'm going to draw a little Baldy there.
Little Baldy?
Yeah, that's his name. The bank manager, I guess. Little Baldy McBalderton.
Baldy McEagle?
Baldy McEagle. Color his hair in. His little back, his arms. Boom, boom. Now we'll draw Art Garfunkel's hair in there in the background. Give him some little curls.
Is he selling pizza by the slice?
Yes.
You see it?
He does kind of look like... I can't remember the name of that character. It's from The Simpsons, though. Yeah. See, I'm just kind of playing with the curls of his hair. I tend to over-obsess about a lot of this stuff, where I think a lot of cartoonists just throw it in and say it's good, and that's why it takes me a little bit longer to do stuff. See, I did his shoulders like 3 times there. See? And I moved them. They're on that separate card in the deck, so I can just move them around. Moving around the oh, no! Oh, I just moved... one of the hostage situations. So you can see with the guy on the bottom left, he was on top, and now I'm erasing the lines behind him of where he was standing, so that counter no longer draws right through him. That's kind of a cool little trick. Sometimes I screw up and I put them on the same layer, and then I have to be really careful with my drawing. So I'm drawing in the little hole in the glass that the tellers speak through now. That's on a layer on top of them. And then I'm just putting in the little hash marks that they do in Cartoonville that show that it's glass. See those little makes it look like glass. We're almost ready to color this thing, but not quite. There's a few steps that we got to do before we color it. We get the illusion of glass in there, and the cartoon is pretty much inked out. This is called, this phase is called inking, even though we're not using real ink, we're using digital ink, where we've inked over the original sketch lines, and now we have what is called line art. So once you have the line art in there, that means you can go in and start adding colors. Now, here's the trick. We're going to cut that oh, here we go. I'm putting the line art in now for the bubbles. You can see I made like a little oval as a guide, and I'm doing the little think bubbles around it, getting it just so. Doop, doop, doop. There. Now we know he's thinking, oh no, I screwed up. Put the little bubble around there, center oh no in the middle of that bubble, and now we're going to go up to the top left, and we're just going to draw lines across. In this case, we're not making actual balloons in this. And then we're doing the tail of the balloon is what it's called. Getting it in there. See, there's my OCD. It's not perfect. Start over. Not perfect. Not perfect. That's perfect enough. And then we'll go in and we'll erase the lines of those tails, and we'll get the bubbles squared off, I guess. Here's the rule of thumb with a bubble, is that you want about the width of a letter separating the line from the caption, oh wait, let me do that again. What I'm trying to say is you want to take about the width of a letter, and you want that spacing to be all around the words within the cartoon caption bubble, right? So right now I'm lining it up with that letter guide again. I'm getting the lines to be even with each other, and I'm just kind of centering it a little bit. if you look at, there's the line again. All right. Now I'm putting in gray. So I always do a grayscale coloring version of these cartoons, and I put the gray in first and then layer the color on top of them. So now I'm just kind of messing around with everything and getting the grays just right. Think of this. Now we're taking our deck of cards. I started saying this earlier. You take your deck of cards and you slice it in half, right? You cut the deck. Now you're going to put the colors in, the grays and all that. You're going to put the grays underneath the layers that have the lines on them, but above the layer that has the white background. So that's why I said like cutting a card. Now I'm taking shadows. I'm making the shadows. I'm erasing the parts that I did little overhangs. And see, these shadows, these are the things I always tell Danielle. I spend so much time on these shadows, and then I turn them down so much you don't even notice they're there, right? I'm kind of putting the shadows where they're going to be, and then I'm going to erase inside so the shadows are just on the outlier of them. Boop, boop, boop. There we go. His head's popped out through the shadow. His head's popped out through the shadow. They're just popping fresh over here. Let's go over to the heist guy. There, see? Now we kind of have erased all of that, and we have kind of different tones of shadows on the floor and on the tellers. And then we're going to turn the opacity of that down. Just as I turn it up, there we go. Now I've turned it down. So you can see how it's like almost disappeared at this point. You like hardly even see that it's there. See that? It's just there. It's just there enough. When you add the color, you'll start to see it. Now I'm making what they're called halftones. So that looked a little weird. It looked like a checker pattern, but what they are is just tiny little dots. And that's how I do all the shadows on the characters. So as you can see, I'm drawing those little dots in. Those dots are on their own card as well. And that card is hidden. And we're essentially erasing the hidden part so the dots show through. So we're not actually drawing this on them. They're hidden, and we're making the parts that are hidden visible. So we're erasingly adding the tones. So we're adding all the tones around their ties, where shadows would be. The good thing about cartoons is it's not real life. You want to generally follow the laws of physics, where if light's coming from the left-hand side, the shadow would be on the right. But sometimes if you want to highlight something, you can put them in there. Nobody's really going to call you out on it. I mean, we're not doing any Monet or Renoir type work here. We're just doing Charles Schultz kind of stuff. Actually, Schultz didn't do anything with halftones. Maybe a little bit. Snoopy's Doghouse on occasion would be halftoned. Back in the day, you would actually cut the shapes of the halftones out, and you would glue them inside the characters where you wanted the halftones. So when the newsprint went to replicate it, they would show up. But we don't have to do that anymore. It's all digital now. This is kind of the meticulous part where you see, and I'm drawing them all in, and it looks like just like a bunch of smudges all over the characters. And what I'm doing in now is I'm taking some of that layer that I erased to let the halftones show through, and I'm putting it back on in certain spots just to kind of smooth out where all of them would be. One of these days, what I should do is actually put a camera on top of me so you can see my Apple Pencil moving, and you can actually see what I'm doing. There we go. But if you look at Art Garfunkel there on the upper left, you'll see that I'm doing that now. I'm kind of smoothing out where all those halftones overlapped over the lines and looked messy, and we're just making them nice and clear. And the irony of this is, as well, is once this is all in, I'm going to bring the transparency of it down so low that you don't even really notice the stuff's there. All right, so what I did was I made them disappear completely, and then I'm bringing them back in slowly. And now we're going to add some more gray. Different tones of gray. This is for the grayscale. photo that will be in the newspaper. If this cartoon runs on Monday, it's usually in black and white, and if it runs on Friday, it's in color. So I always color in the grays first. It has an added benefit. It lets you add a little bit of depth. It show a little bit of perspective, and it lets you show a little bit of color definition for your drawing before you add the color. So when you add the color on top of it, and then you bring the color down a little bit, and the gray peeks through a little bit, and it shows some depth. So now we're throwing in the coloring them right up.
Whoa, is he wearing green for St. Patrick's Day?
Yeah, he's wearing green for St. Patrick's Day. I should have done a St. Patrick's Day cartoon, but this one was a little more involved, so I thought it was more fun. So yeah, now we're just adding the colors in. The beauty of digital art is if the line is closed off, meaning it connects to another line, like think of when you make a B and you make the little circles that connect. Now the little circles inside of the B can just be filled in with a paint bucket, essentially. Now we're doing the background. Usually I do the background colors first. I don't know why I didn't this time, but we're throwing in all the background colors now. And see, this is the fastest part of it, is just throwing the color in. Boom, 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 boom. We did all this pre-work, right? And you can barely see those shadows kicking up. Like if you look in the little bald dude in the lower left-hand corner, you can see the little shadows there, but they're just barely there. Now we're throwing the colors in. We're adjusting the opacity of the colors, and you see I keep toggling back and forth between the color and the gray just to get it just so, there we go. And that's kind of where we ended up. Now down the lower left hand corner I sign my name. On the the left hand corner I put midlifethesis.net, and there's the cartoon, but it's still not ready, right? There's the gray, there's the color. Still not ready. What we got to do is we got to put the border on it, and we got to make it look like it's ready for the newspaper. So that's the next step, the final step, the most boring step, where we throw it into Photoshop, and I have my pre-made border with midlife thesis and by Todd Pronto, and on all the legal stuff, midlifethesis.net, copyright Todd Pronto, blah blah blah. It's all in there, right? There it is. Now what we gotta do is take the cartoon that we just made. We're going to throw that into Photoshop. Da-bam! And you notice it's real big, so we need to shrink it down. So I shrink it down so it's within the borders a little bit. Move it up. I was a little off, so I redid it. I want to stay along that pink line in the center. There. Now let's take the border. See those layers on the left-hand side? That's what I was talking about. We're moving the border up top now. So now the border is above the cartoon, and we're going to grab the cartoon, and what we're going to do is we're going to basically transform it a little bit just to make it sit and it's not peeking out of one of those borders, or it's not too far inside of it. So we zoom way in. Look at that, we're way deep in this cartoon now. All right, that blue line, that is the edge of the cartoon we drew, and that black line is the border. So we want to make sure that that blue line sits within it. But this line is not a perfectly straight line. You can see there's little ebbs and flows to it and little waves that just makes it look a little more natural. So we're just going to go around and tweak right around the whole cartoon and make sure it fits right in with everything. And see that? That's a little close, but it's in. That one right there, that's a little too close for comfort. So we're going to zoom in a little bit. We're going to pull that line just a touch there. Now we know that the cartoon is fit within the border. We're going up to the top. That top corner is pretty close. We're just going to bring it in a little bit. Watch this. We're going to go right in. See those pixels? We're going to bring it in 1 pixel. Bonk. Look at that. Yeah?
It was making me think of like Happy Little Pixels.
Yeah, it's like Bob Rice.
Bob Ross.
These are happy little pixels. Look at this. This is outside of the pixel. This is bad. What we've got to do, see how some of that blue line's just outside the black? We got to pull them in a couple of pixels. Let's do it here. Then pull in a couple of happy little pixels. Now it's within the border. Pixels are little dots. Whenever you make a line in computer art, you're filling in pixels, not vector, but pixels. See that right there? That little thing? I don't like that. Let's go in a little bit. Let's just pull that down about a pixel. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Now, there are professional cartoonists that do this in the paper, and you can clearly see that they didn't have it within the borders, and it drives me bonkers that professionals don't go over it like I did. Whoop, there we go. There's our cartoon. Now let's bring the border. Let's make it official. Boom. There's the cartoon.
Nice.
Now, all those layers on the left-hand side, what we're going to do is we're going to scrunch them all up so it just makes one layer. It's called flattening the image. See that? Watch the bottom right. Boom. It's all one layer now. Let's save it. Boom. Let's call it midlife thesis cartoon _ bank. Let's save that puppy. We'll save it to the desktop. It's not where I normally save it, but for this, we're going to save it to the desktop. There it is. That's your cartoon. It's done. Let's go look at it. Let's look at the final cartoon that's going to go in the newspaper and online. It's right there. Let's open it up. There's the cartoon, ladies and gentlemen.
Nice.
Full screen, midlife thesis cartoon. Whew. In 20 minutes or so, what took me over 3 hours to do.
Yeah, right.
There it is. Attention, everyone. This is Rob Erie. There's it. There it is. All right, get me back here. There I am. I'm back. So there you go. That's how this becomes that and ends up in this. They stretched the crap out of that one. Yeah. That was fun. Oh man, Bart says it's in the upper 80s down in Florida.
Oh boy.
What is it here? I didn't even look. I was so frustrated I didn't even look outside. 38 degrees and raining is what it is here. Ah. Oh, what'd Tracy say? She wants to show Mysteries at the Museum on the History Channel. Ireland has adopted American customs for St. Patrick's Day, and St. Patrick's wore blue and not green. Interesting. Well, blue and green are similar colors, so maybe maybe they just misinterpreted it. Lindy says it's a beach day.
Yeah.
Well, here, a lot of the ice is melted, so it could be a beach day.
We need to go to Florida.
We do need to go to Florida. All right. Well, let's do an Irish song before we go make our breakfast. Oh, thanks, Marie. She says thanks for showing the making of your cartoons. It's fun. I one of these days I'm gonna get a camera above my hand so you can actually see the hand moving and stuff, so you can see the lines form. But I thought that would be fun. I thought it'd be neat to show how the cartoons are made. Yeah. It's kind of cool. It was fun. It was something different for today. Now, let me just do a sip of coffee. And we'll sing us a traditional Irish folk song. Set sail from the sweet harbor. We were sailing was a wonderful craft. She was rigged fore and aft. And oh, how the wild wind drove her. She stood quite a blast. She had 27 masts, and they called her the Irish Rover. We had 1,000,000 bags of the best silo rags, 2,000,000 barrels of stones, 3,000,000 sides of blind horses' hides. We had 4,000,000 barrels of bones. We had 5,000,000 hogs, 6,000,000 dogs, 7,000,000 barrels of porter. We had 8,000,000 bales of old nanny goat tails in the hold of the Irish Rover. There was old Mickey Coot, who played hard on his flute when the ladies lined up for his set. He was tooting for skill with each sparkling quadrille. Through the dancers were furthered and fed. With his sparse, witty talk, he was cock of the walk. Rolled dames over and over. They knew at a glance when he took up his stance, and he sailed the Irish Rover. The Irish Rover was a ship, a folklore ship, and they exaggerated and told tall tales of what was on this ship. I mean, 27 masts, 2,000,000 barrels of stones. There was Barney McGee from the banks of the Lee. There was Hogan from County Tyrone. There was Johnny McGurk, who was scared stiff of work, and a chap from Westmouth called Malone. There was Sugar O'Toole, who was drunk as a rule, fighting Bill Tracy from Dover, and young Nick McCann from the banks of the band was a skipper of the Irish Rover. We had sailed 7 years when the measles broke out, and our ship lost its way in the fog. Then the whole crew was reduced to a town down to 2, just myself and the old captain's dog. Then the ship hit a rock, oh Lord, what a shock, and the boat, it flipped over and over, and 900 times around the poor dog was drowned in the last of the Irish Rover. The last of the Irish Rover. What a crazy song that is.
Yeah, right?
They exaggerate the size of the ship, the amount of people on it, the amount of booze on it, the amount of masts on it. And then measles breaks out.
Yeah, right?
Measles breaks out because they weren't vaccinated. It's a very timely song. And then they all die except for the ship captain and his dog. And then they hit a rock, right? Then they hit a rock. The ship spins around 9 times. The dog drowns. And the only one left to tell the tale is the narrator who's singing the song. Mm-hmm. And that, my friends, is the story of St. Patrick's Day. You may know that from the Pogues. Irish music doesn't sound right without the penny whistle. Mm-hmm. You just need that, you know, but there you go. Happy Thanksgiving Day.
Whoa. Happy birthday.
Happy Thanksgiving. What is, I believe the traditional Irish dinner would be boiled mutton or pork with cabbage and potatoes. The corned beef is a German traditional food, not Irish. Really?
Interesting. We've kind of like taken a bunch of little things and put them together.
That's funny.
Different.
Well, we're making corned beef.
Yum.
I don't believe I've ever had mutton.
No.
All I think of is mutton with mutton is that episode of Seinfeld. Happy Thanksgiving, you two, for always entertaining us on Sunday mornings. Aw. Aaron, I'm going to get down to Massachusetts and we're going to hang out. I'm going to do a show down there. We're going to chill it right up. It's going to be fun. Lindy says if the dog drowns, just kind of keep that song to yourself. I didn't write it. It's a traditional Irish folk song. Beef was more Scottish, not really an Irish thing. St. Patrick's, haven't had the coffee yet. Oh, I think I've had too much coffee. I think I need breakfast now. I think I need to neutralize some of that caffeine that's coursing through my veins. So we had fun this morning. We started the show off at Tim and Doug's. We got ourselves a St. Patrick's Day shake. Danielle got herself a lemon sorbet. Then we sang some songs. We did Galloway Girl by Steve Earle. We drew a cartoon, and then we sang an old Irish folk song about an exaggerated ship that drowned after measles broke out and everybody died, even the dog. What they should have done was the last verse, the guy should have died, and it should just been the dog left to sing the tale, and it should just been like, "Woof, woof, 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 hoo." Do you think people would have gotten it? I'm just going to start. I'm going to just do that song for 4 minutes, barking like a dog, and explain to the audience that in traditional folk tradition, I guess, I rewrote the song from the perspective of the dog, and in my version, the dog stays alive. And it's just the dog barking for 4 minutes over 3 chords.
Are you going to add some penny whistle?
Yeah. No, I'll use a dog whistle so you can't even hear it. All right, that's the show.
Oh, boy.
That is the show. Thank you so much for tuning in yet again. Week in and week out here on Coffee with Todd. This is something like hold on, I'll tell you. We've had a lot of shows here on Coffee with Todd. How many weeks consecutively have we done this show? This is the 186th Coffee with Todd. 186 shows. Can you believe that?
Nope.
That's crazy.
Does it feel like 186?
Not really. Not really. Though it's changed quite a bit. Mm-hmm. We're going to have to do something fun for our 200th show.
Yeah.
I'll think about it. Hey, in the meantime, y'all have a good time. Have a great week. Yay! What was Aaron say? It's called the MIDI Project, and I'm going to have people play it. Oh! Yeah, man. That would be super fun. I'll do some songs with you. Let's talk about it. I have a project I want to talk with you about too, Aaron. We should do a Zoom sometime. Anyway, we need to make our breakfast. Green eggs and ham is what we're going to have this morning.
We are?
No. We'll have eggs.
Okay. We'll have bacon?
Green eggs and bacon.
There we go.
That's the ticket. Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in each and every week. I love you. Be safe. Be well. Enjoy St. Paddy's Day. I have a feeling some of you enjoyed St. Patrick's Day last night and are not enjoying today so much. That's what coffee's for.
And have some corned beef.
Mm-hmm.
Salt.
Salt. You need salt. All right, guys. I love you very much. Mwah. Thank you so much. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We'll see you next week right here on Coffee with Todd.
Oh, yeah.